What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Just a G, back with another video. In the last video I talked about the Texas DBs, but we need to talk about who they're going to be guarding, because obviously they're about to play Ohio State. So let me tell you about the Ohio State receivers. I'm going to start off nice and hot, talk about the number one receiver in the country right now, and it's Jeremiah Smith. He's a 6'3", 220-pound receiver out of, where did he come from? Miami Gardens, Florida, so he's a Florida guy. Very fast, very quick. I mean, he's literally big. He's 6'3", 220. I mean, big, fast, strong hands. He got all the tools. People were saying that he'd literally be a first-round draft pick if he came out of college right now. He's a freshman. He's literally 18, 19 years old. But this year he has 70 receptions, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, and averaged 18 yards a catch. So basically he's him. I mean, I've been seeing the TikToks. They've been glazing him, talking about he's the next GOAT. He's the next Julio. I mean, that's what I would compare him to. I would compare him to the next Julio Jones because, I mean, he's big, fast, strong, can do it all. And he's only a freshman, so who knows how scary he's going to be in 2 more years of development. But they're fit to play Texas. And honestly, if I'm being real, he ain't went up against no Texas DBs yet. So I'm not going to say he's going to do good or bad, but I don't think he's going to just have his way how he's been having his way before. He's been having his way this whole year, and just doing his own thing. But this year, he's going to have to really show me something in this game to prove that he's the best receiver in college football. Because obviously moving forward he will be, but this could be the moment where he stamps his legacy right here. I think that he's pretty unguardable for the most part. Like, he's pretty much unguardable. But if he just could create separation using his size, that would be the only thing that helped him, because he's fast and all that. But the Texas DBs are fast too. So he's going to really show that he's a dog. But even when he said, the interviews asked him, can anybody guard you? He said no. So he better prove it to me. Prove to me that no one can guard you, and I'll gladly, you know what I'm saying, repost your highlights and all that. Because I don't care for real. Honestly, I think you're a great player. I think that you're the best college freshman right now. It's up with you and Ryan Williams, the best receiver right now, as freshman. But I know that you need to come in this game and have a real dog mentality if you want to beat Texas. This year he's had a crazy stat line, obviously 1,200 yards. I mean, he literally looks league ready right now. I hear people singing my sunshine, my sunshine. Like, they're really glazing you, and I know you know about it too. So go out here and show people why that you should be glazed like you're glazed. But obviously he's not the only receiver on the team. It's reasons that he's getting up because he has other dogs on the team too. So I'll talk about the next guy right here. His name is Emeka Egbuka. Basically, he's going to be a first-round draft pick, second-round draft pick. He was really cold in years past. He's always been like the second-best receiver on the team. And when you play an elite team like Ohio State, like, if you're the second-best receiver on that team, you're going to be a first-round draft pick. He's 6'1", 205 pounds, coming out of Washington. This year he's had 70 receptions, 900 yards, 10 touchdowns, average 12 yards per catch. He's just an all-pro. Like, he'll come into whatever organization he goes into, he's going to be a dog, like, immediately, because he actually goes to the draft this year. I already know some of his stats for you. He didn't really do much his freshman year, but his sophomore years, he had 74 receptions, 1,500 yards, 1,151 yards, average 15 yards per catch, 10 touchdowns. So he had like one of the craziest sophomore seasons that a receiver can have. And then he had a little decline last year because they didn't have a quarterback. And this year, they got a quarterback out the portal, and he's back to his regular dog mentality. So be on the lookout for what he does in this next game, and comment down below what you think he's going to do, because honestly, he's one of them guys that can go for 100 yards any game. Like, since they're going to put Jahdae Barron on, they're going to obviously probably put him on the best receiver, so he'll be the number 2 again. And we're going to see what happens with Emeka. I mean, I think Emeka could really fry anybody who lines up in front of him. Jeremiah Smith is going to be lined up on Jahdae, so that's a whole matchup right there. And then you put Emeka in the slot, see if he cooks. I think that he's going to really be an impact player this next game. I hope he will be, because I know he's a dog. But the next person I'll talk about is Carnell Tate. That's the sneaky guy on the team, because he's like a big, tall receiver. He's listed as 6'3", 190 pounds, coming out of Chicago, Illinois. This year he's 43 receptions, 600 yards. He's only a sophomore. He has 4 touchdowns. he's like the 2B. Like he come in there, make a couple catches. That's what he does. This year he's been playing pretty good. I'd say we got to just really see what happens in the game. Most likely he's going to be on Muhammad, which is the other corner, and most likely he's going to toast him. I mean, he's fast. He's 6'3". He's going to have to really prove that he's that dog this game, because anybody can really get the ball. Like, this is one of them games where it's going to be a matchup-based game. Everybody has to pick the best matchups and really just see what they can do. He's tall, 6'3", 6'4", so he's going to have to really prove to me that he's a dog. Now I'm going to talk about the next receiver that was actually supposed to go crazy this year, but he hasn't really did a lot. But I believe that he could make an impact in this game, because you never know. I don't know if he's hurt or not, because he ain't been playing that much, but his name is Brandon Ennis. Now, Brandon Ennis was like a 5-star out of high school. I mean, he's supposed to be the best thing to come out of Ohio State. But as he's been there, he hasn't really done that much. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds, but he's still a dog in my opinion. This year he had 4 receptions. The last game he had 4 receptions, 56 yards. So I mean, he's like a neutral guy. Like, he'll come in, get a couple catches, get up out of there. But Ohio State really only throws Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and Emeka, because they're the top 3 receivers. That's the main people who start on the field. Because also Ohio State has some dogs at running back that makes it like impossible to really guard them for real. But let me talk about some of their running backs while we're here, because some of their running backs are going to the NFL. The one that I know is going to the NFL for sure is TreVeyon Henderson. Let me read off his stats for you. He's 5'10", 210 pounds, solid dude. Had 126 carries this year for 900 yards, 10 touchdowns. He popped off versus Oregon, had that long run. He's going to the NFL, guys. I mean, it's the easiest way to explain it. He's going to the NFL. There's not too many ways to explain that. I mean, he's quick, fast, got all the tools. He can block. They have a tandem in the backfield, him and Judkins. So basically, I'm going to read off some of his stats for y'all. Freshman year, 1,200 yards as a running back in his freshman year. So freshman year, he went out, made a campaign for himself, said, yeah, I'm him. Then he came back the next year, splitting time, only had 500 yards. Then he came back the next 2 years, last year and this year have 900 yards already. So he made himself and cemented himself as a good running back. He's gonna be a day 2, day 3 pick. But he's gonna make it to the NFL, so congratulations to him. That's gonna be another force in the run game. I'm just listing off all the Ohio State weapons right now so y'all can get an idea of who Texas is gonna be playing. Then the other running back who he splits time with, like literally 50-50, is Quinshon Judkins, coming out of Alabama, Pike Road, Alabama. He's 6 foot, 220 pounds. He had 174 carries, 924 yards, 10 touchdowns. So literally identical stats, back and forth with them. The thing about him, he's a junior, so he can come back or he can hit the draft. Some people say he's hitting the draft. Some people say he's staying. If I was him, I'd stay. But if they win the national championship, I'm leaving. You know, once you complete the job, there's no other things to do. He transferred from Ole Miss. Now, do I think he should transfer from Ole Miss? No, because Ole Miss had a good team this year, but they probably paid him some money to go to Ohio State. So take the money. It's a business now. NFL football is really a business to begin with, and in college it's definitely a business now. So with the NIL, so last year he had 1,158 yards with Ole Miss, and the year before that he had 1,500 yards with Ole Miss. So he was having some crazy numbers. Honestly, if he had stayed at Ole Miss, they probably wouldn't make the playoff this year. But he decided to go with the better team and have more of a guaranteed shot to go and win the national championship like he wanted to. So this year he split time with Henderson and 900 yards this year, 10 touchdowns. I mean, solid running back. He can go. If he does go to the NFL this year, he'll be a day 3 pick, round 4 or 5. But nothing's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It's a running back type of game now. I think the running backs are really starting to rise. And I'll definitely do a video on the top running backs in this year's coming draft. But I'd like to see how the rest of the playoffs play off before I do that. And then, yeah, those are all the main weapons. I'm not going to talk about quarterbacks in this, because I don't want to talk about quarterbacks. Quarterbacks is a whole nother video. And if you want to hear about the quarterbacks, make sure to subscribe, comment down below who you want me to talk about. But honestly, I think that Ohio State versus Texas is going to be a good game. But I think that Ohio State's going to come out with the win because of their running back tandem. And it's as simple as that. I mean, it's hard to stop those running backs when they're both going to the NFL. So, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video. Have a blessed day. Peace.